Welcome to the beautiful island of St. Lucia. If you're traveling during the COVID-19 pandemic, here's a few things that you need to know. Hello, my name is Darian and welcome to my channel where I talk about my life as a medical student and some of the trips I get to take along the way. So I went to St. Lucia a few months ago, and if you're watching this video, you're either thinking about going to St. Lucia or you have already booked it and you're well on your way. I traveled during the COVID-19 pandemic. This was back in late July, beginning of August of 2021. And there were a few things that I would like to share with you to make your trip as great as possible. Now, you do not have to be vaccinated to enter St. Lucia. Again, always check my links down below, the CDC website, the St. Lucia travel website, to make sure that these haven't changed. But based on my experience, you did not have to be vaccinated. You would just be a little bit more limited to what St. Lucia has to offer you. So the time that I went, I only received my first dose and my boyfriend was not vaccinated. So upon arrival, we did receive some wristbands, and that kind of dictated where we were allowed to go in the country. But let me rewind a little bit. So before you prepare and embark on your trip, you're gonna want to go to the St. Lucia travel website and actually fill out their travel form. Here, I recommend at least doing it a month in advance. That way your information is in the system and you're ready to go when you get your COVID test results. So to travel into the country, you are going to need a COVID test within 72 hours of travel. I always recommend, and I'm pretty sure St. Lucia still requires that it be a PCR test and not a rapid antigen test. So make sure that whether it's you're going to Walgreens, CVS, whoever your local doctor, that they are able to get you those test results within the 72-hour period. Now, anytime I travel internationally, especially to St. Lucia, I always make sure that I print out those documents. Sometimes they are not acceptable on your electronic device, so make sure that you print out those documents. Now, when you get your results, you're going to upload the results to the prior form that you filled out online. And this is where the government of St. Lucia is going to check those results and verify it. And then you'll get a document back to your email for each person that you are traveling with and yourself to go ahead and make sure you are ready to travel. So this gets a little bit confusing for a lot of people. We did not get our actual certification and the documents that we needed, again, to print out and travel with us, allowing us to enter the country until about 12 hours before. I was sending email after email to make sure that we had these documents, because you cannot board without the documents. So just make sure to stay up on that. They run the service very, very well, and they're pretty attentive to email. So again, just make sure that you have all those documents together. Upon arrival, typical, you're going to go through customs, you're going to get issued your wristband, and here you can either rent a car if you are vaccinated, or you're going to have already prearranged and certified transportation to your hotel, resort, Airbnb, etc. Now, everywhere you go in the country, especially during the time that we traveled, your tour guides had to be certified, where you ate had to be certified, your accommodations had to be certified, transportation, everything was certified by the government as a COVID-19, basically St. Lucia eligible travel tour, everything. So this is in the link below. They give a full list of tours. They're very, very great on their website about basically putting together an exhaustive list of that. So we didn't really have any trouble there finding places to eat or anything like that along the way. So accommodations, we ended up staying at the Tete Rouge Resort, and it was incredible. It's in the countryside, so if you like being away from the city center, you like kind of the peacefulness, beautiful resort. I believe they have only about 10 rooms available, or maybe 6. I'm not quite sure, but it was not very many people staying there, and it was an incredible experience for you to truly experience serenity. And it's great because you get to look right out of your room and actually see St. Vincent and the Grenadines on a clear day. And I can't tell you how incredible it was. Right behind is actually the Grand Piton, so you can see that from the resort. And one of the great things about Tete Rouge is that they offer a complimentary shuttle, and this works very well for people who are not vaccinated or maybe not fully vaccinated, because it allows you to travel around the country to your certified tours, restaurants, anywhere that you're going. Again, that is certified and it's completely complimentary on the hotel. Okay, so we were there for a pretty short time. I'd say about 4 days. I typically like to keep my trips rather short, just for cost effectiveness and the ability to be able to go more places during the year. So we booked 2 tours with the same company, and they're not sponsored by any means, but we did choose to go at Feel Good Water Tours. I will say the first tour where we actually got to explore the land was absolutely great. We went on boat, visited the different islands, the fishing villages, had the opportunity to actually get off, go to waterfalls, go to the sulfur baths, and eat a little bit of a local lunch along the way there. The next day, we ended up having a deep sea fishing trip. So when we booked this trip, we were under the impression that it would be a true deep sea fishing experience. We would have all of our reels connected to the boat. We were truly going to really indulge in kind of the deep sea life. When we actually got to the tour, it was not that. We were mainly hand fishing and it was along the coastline. We did make a catch of tuna that they let us keep and take back, and kudos to Tete Rouge Resort because their chef graciously prepared that tuna for us on the house, so that was very incredible. But I think for the cost of that deep sea fishing tour, it wasn't justifiable to the experience that we had. Again, that doesn't take away from being able to be out on the ocean and just looking at the amazing view of St. Lucia, but I would probably lean towards recommending their land and sea tour than I would over their deep sea fishing. I might kind of vet out another tour company for that. The last thing that we did is we mainly ate a lot of our meals at our resort. They offered breakfast, lunch, and dinner brought to your room, and then they kind of added all in at the end, so it wasn't too terribly bad. Price-wise, the meals for both of us for 4 days, and I also packed a lot of snacks in my suitcase along the way and some drinks, which really helped because you're not able to actually go out to the grocery store there if you are not vaccinated. So it's a good idea to bring some extra snacks along in your luggage. But the number one restaurant that I would recommend there is at Hotel Chocolate. The views are absolutely incredible. The food was incredible, and if you're not staying at that hotel, at least visit the restaurant. It's a certified accommodation, so you are free to go there, whether you are vaccinated or not. And it is just the highlight of the trip. Just, you get to see the Pittons in such a different view and just overlook the beauty that is St. Lucia. I will say that being in the status of non-vaccinated, you are limited to what you can experience of this great country, and it's so unfortunate. But if you really want to travel and you don't mind being hindered just a little bit, St. Lucia is a place to definitely go right now. You still can get on a lot of the tours, you still can go out to a lot of the top restaurants there, and you can still enjoy your time. You're not going to get a lot of beach time, I would say, unless you book more in the town of Soufrière instead of where we were in Tete Rouge. So if you want to experience a sunbathing, experience the beaches, I would definitely recommend booking more in town, because at Tete Rouge, again, you are in that countryside. You're very up, I wouldn't say wilderness, but in kind of the lush area of St. Lucia, and so you don't really have that immediate access to the beach, even though you do see that ocean view. So overall, I think it was a great experience, no matter your status of being vaccinated or not. Go to St. Lucia. I know they offer great travel deals on Google Flights when you track them. Typically, flights from Chicago here were about $600 to $700 on average, and I ended up scoring them at $402 by tracking my Google Flights. And I believe Tete Rouge in total for the 4 days ran us $730. Both of these prices are in USD. So if you do have any questions about St. Lucia that I can answer, leave your questions in the comments below. I'll reply. And join me in a couple of weeks for my video on our trip to Iceland.